A candle is an interplay between wax and wick and flame. The flame melts the wax. The wick draws the wax up it to feed the flame. All three must be in some sort of balance in order for you to get the most out of your candle. So how do we do that? There are two main components to candle care. The first is proper trimming of the wick. The second is proper burn time. First things first, always clip the wick down to 1/4 inch. So that is about this much. So let's go ahead and do that. Going a little bit over isn't too big of a deal, but you don't want to cut it too short or you run the risk of it burning out before establishing a good wax pool. You will want to trim the wick before every time you light the candle. The only candles that I personally don't trim are tea lights and the mini tapers, as both are supposed to burn down pretty quickly, especially the mini tapers. So it doesn't matter as much as with, say, a pillar candle, where the lack of proper maintenance can cause things to go pear-shaped pretty quickly. This is the result of me not trimming the wick the first time burning these candles, and you can see the resulting runoff of the wax and the mess that it made. So you might think that the manufacturer has made the candle with the wick at the right length, but that's not always the case. As a side note, if you have a candle that does this, it's not the end of the world. When you light it again and things get a little melty, just grab a bit of the wax and plug up the hole. First burn of a candle is important to establish the wax pool. The rule of thumb here is that the first burn should be 1 hour for every inch of width, and the wax should liquefy across the entire top of the candle. If that doesn't happen, you get this tunneling here, and the candle will continue to burn like that. The only way to stop this is to cut off all of the excess wax here to make a new smooth top for the candle, trim the wick, and basically do a whole new first burn. So if there's just a little rim of wax that's been softened by the flame, you can gently push it inwards so that it will liquefy fully. Like on this candle, you can push this little bit here in to be closer to the flame. You should always wait until the wax has fully cooled before burning the candle again, and subsequent burns should always be no longer than 4 hours. As the candle burns, the carbon will build up on the wick, as we can see here, and this will make the flame taller, which will increase the chance of having wax run off and make a mess everywhere. So as a little bonus, I'm going to briefly talk about a couple other important points. The first is to keep your candles away from drafts or airflow caused by fans or air conditioning. If you want a steady burn, then you need a steady flame, not one that's dancing around and flickering. The second is really only important if you are using a pillar candle in a magical working. Now, one of the established points of candle magic is that it's considered to be a bad idea to blow out the flame. So if you don't have a candle snuffer, a neat trick is to take something like this bamboo skewer and fold the wick over into the wax pool until it is extinguished. An important point is to make sure that the wick is standing straight back up before things solidify. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a wonky wick. So, if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more information about candles, incense, essential oils, and magic, please subscribe to the Everyday Arcana channel, and I'll see you next time.